sun runs out of hydrogen fuel, what will happen to Earth and the surrounding planets? And will the Earth become a rogue planet?
Life on the surface would die pretty quickly. There's no photosynthesis, which is the base of the food chain.
Life on Earth becomes essentially impossible on the surface.
The Sun, 4.6 billion years old. The reason you exist. The reason anything on this planet exists. Every morning it rises. Every evening it sets. And you never once questioned whether it would come back. But what if something was eating it? There's a film called Project Hail Mary, and its setup is one of the most unsettling things I have come across in science fiction. A man wakes up alone on a spaceship, millions of miles from Earth. He doesn't know his name, he doesn't know how he got there, and slowly, painfully, his memory returns. The sun is dying, not in billions of years, now in his lifetime, and he is the only person left who can figure out why. A microscopic organism called astrophage that feeds directly on the sun's energy. A living thing, invisible to the naked eye, quietly draining the star that keeps every living thing on Earth alive. That's the story. But here's the question that kept me up at night after watching it. Could something like astrophage actually exist? In the story, astrophage is a single-celled organism, microscopic, almost invisible. But it reproduces by consuming energy directly from stars, including our sun. It absorbs solar radiation, uses it to multiply, and in doing so, slowly dims the sun's output. Less energy reaching Earth means lower temperatures, crop failures, ice age, extinction. Science fiction, right? Well, pause for a second. Because here's what's real. Scientists have actually discovered organisms on Earth that survive on radiation. They are called radiotrophs. And they were found living inside the walls of Chernobyl's destroyed nuclear reactor, eating radiation for energy. If life can evolve to consume radiation here on Earth, what's stopping something similar from evolving in the vacuum of space? Now, let's talk real science. Can something actually threaten the sun? The sun is not invincible. It's a giant nuclear fusion reactor. And like all reactors, it has a lifespan. Scientists estimate it has about 5 billion years left before it expands into a red giant and swallows the Earth. But that's a long time away. What about right now? Here's something that should unsettle you. Scientists have noticed that the solar luminosity, the sun's brightness, fluctuates. Not dramatically, but it does change. In the 1600s, there was a period called Maunder Minimum, where sunspot activity nearly vanished for 70 years. Temperatures on Earth dropped, rivers froze, harvests failed. Some historians call it the Little Ice Age. The sun went quiet, and Earth paid the price. No alien organism required. So what are the real threats to the sun that scientists are watching right now? First, solar storm. Coronal mass ejection. Massive bursts of plasma and magnetic field flung from the sun's surface. In 1859, one hit Earth so hard it set telegraph wires on fire. If that happened today, it could knock out our entire power grid. Second, helium accumulation. As the sun burns hydrogen, it produces helium as a byproduct. Over billions of years, this helium builds up in the core, gradually changing how the sun burns. Third, and this is a wild one, scientists have theorized about rogue objects, a stray black hole, a neutron star, something massive drifting into our solar system and gravitationally disrupting the sun's orbit. Unlikely, but not impossible. None of these are astrophage, but all of them are real. The universe doesn't need a science fiction monster to threaten us. It does a fine job on its own. But Project Hail Mary raises a deeper question. Not just can something hit the sun, but could life exist in the harsh vacuum of space at all? And here, science gets genuinely exciting. We have found microbes on Earth called extremophiles that survive in conditions that should be completely lethal. Boiling volcanic vents, hyperacidic lakes, the frozen Antarctic ice. Some can even survive the vacuum of space in laboratory tests. They are called tardigrades, water bears, less than a millimeter long, and they are basically unkillable. Expose them to space, they survive. Radiation, they survive. Freeze them for decades, they revive. If life like that exists here, the universe is a much stranger, more crowded place than we ever imagined. Project Hail Mary is a story about curiosity, about one human alone in the dark, using science to save everything. And the most terrifying part, the science isn't that far from reality. Organisms that eat radiation, real. A sun that can go quiet, real. Life surviving the impossible, real. The universe is stranger than fiction, and that's exactly why we are here. This is Sciensoholic, and we are just getting started. Subscribe. The next mystery is already waiting.